1384.
13 past 6, Pharmac has announced it will fund new medicines for multiple sclerosis, breast and lung cancer and some eye conditions. The funding is set to begin at the start of next month, with around 1,700 people expected to benefit in the first year, increasing to 4,000 in 5 years. We're joined by MS advocate and president of Taranaki's MS Society, Graham Walker. Morena, Graham, lovely to have you back on the program. I mean, this is fabulous news, isn't it? What sort of difference do you think that this funding announcement will make?
Morena, Jenny May, thank you for having us on. Yes, it's going to make a big difference. What it means is that people will only have to have 10 or 15 minutes to have their infusion rather than all day. It takes a whole lot of stress off people having to spend time at an infusion centre and turn their lives around for a day to cancel everything and get help from, in my case, my wife drives me to the infusion centre, takes a day off work to do it, and to have it done in 10 or 15 minutes. Plus, of course, it's going to free up the infusion centres to help with dealing with people with other conditions even.
Yeah, so it's a win-win, right, Graham? But also, I mean, I know that Ocrevus is something that you've been on for 6 years, since you were diagnosed 13 years?
Yes, longer than 6 years.
Wow.
I was one of the first ones in the country to go onto the Compassionate program that was funded by Roche. I was very fortunate to get on that program, and it's an amazing drug. The efficacy is outstanding, and it's not a cure, but it slows the progress of MS considerably.
So does it help you on a day-to-day basis with dealing with MS?
Well, it means that my MS hasn't progressed not nearly as far as it might. I'm still able to fully function in the community, and I have a big role as an advocate and a fundraiser and all sorts of things, and I work for several other charities as well. So yes, it helps. It definitely helps day to day. I still ride a bike 20k 4 or 5 times a week out on the road. So.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, this is obviously wonderful news for you, but also for your wife. She doesn't have to keep driving you for such long periods of time, right? And spend that time with you. How is this going to be a game changer for other patients, Graham?
The biggest game changer for other patients who are not already on Ocrevus. There's a lot of people that have trouble getting on it just because there's not the time at the infusion centre to book them in and get the job done. So instead of doing just me on that day, there's going to be a place for maybe 6 or 7 people to go through the infusion centre. And so that's huge. That's really going to be a big advantage to the health system and a saving.
Yeah, Graham, you talked about being an advocate a little bit earlier on in our chat. Why is that important to you? Because I know you've advocated for this particular drug as well. Yeah,
well, it's just people that are first diagnosed with MS don't know anything about where they might be headed, what the progress of what their prognosis is. And for somebody like me who's lived it for 13 years and managed well, actually very well, I'm told, and to have somebody like me talk to them and explain that, hey, look, it isn't the end of the world, life goes on and you can still function in so many different ways. It's huge for people, it really is.
Graham, thank you so much for being with us this morning, giving us a little bit of an insight how much this can be a game changer for MS patients. Hey, and also, can I just say, Graham, well done for downloading Zoom and getting yourself sorted before our interview. We so appreciate you. Thanks so much, Graham.
Thank you very much, Jenny May, and thank you, Pharmac.
Pleasure. And we're now joined by Roche New Zealand's Country Medical Director, Dr. Kieran Simons. Kieran, morena, it's so lovely to have you with us. From your perspective, what makes this funding decision such an important one, and not just for patients themselves, but also for our health system?
Morena, Jenny May, thank you for having me. We're very proud to have these 4 new medicines due to be funded from the 1st of December. It's going to make a real difference not only to patients and their whānau, but also to the healthcare system as a whole. It represents one of the first examples of Pharmac taking more broad societal impacts into account when they are making their funding decisions. And in this case, it's releasing hours of time out of the healthcare system. So congratulations to Roche, and we're very happy.
I just want to go back to you talking about funding with Pharmac and looking at the broader implications when it comes to funding these medicines. How much of a big deal is that?
It's a big deal, yeah. So for Ocrevus and in multiple sclerosis, when you add up the number of people and the amount of time that they spend sitting in an infusion chair at the moment, receiving their funded intravenous medicine, we think that it will release about 20,000 hours worth of infusion chair time for the healthcare system, which is quite significant. And it means that potentially 6 or 7 patients can be treated in the same time that it would take one person to receive their intravenous medication. So that's freeing up MS nurse time to spend more time with their patients, as well as for patients and their carers themselves, as Graham said.
The announcement, of course, wasn't just about MS and Ocrevus. There was also Phesgo for breast cancer. That also cuts treatment time dramatically. Again, how much of a big change is that?
So that's a reduction in treatment time of about 83%. So we're going from an IV infusion, sitting in an infusion chair and receiving a slow drip of maybe 3 to 5 hours, it typically takes, down to about 10 minutes. So from a system perspective, over 5 years, we're looking at 45,000 hours of infusion chair time is released, 9,200 hours of nursing time. And of course, this is achieved with no additional cost to the healthcare system.
Also, I just want to pick up on a point that Graham made about the fact that, you know, it's a long drive for him to go for his treatment, but it means that he's not there for hours, that he's there. It's a 15 minutes injection, and then he can return home. Is there any mention of remote clinics and whether people can actually, they don't have to go to the big centres in order to get these treatments, but be closer to home, which would have a massive impact again?
Yes, definitely. Yes, so from 1st of December, as the healthcare system starts to use these medicines, patients will still need to travel into their hospitals in most cases to receive the injections. But over time, our vision for the future is that people will be able to receive their treatment much closer to home, maybe in GP clinics or in more regional centres. So this is a wonderful first step towards that closer to home treatment.
Yeah, brilliant. Dr. Karen Simons joining us this morning from Roche New Zealand Medical Director. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.